Good afternoon, everyone. This is Valencia Harris coming at you out of the DMV area. I'm the mother of Unique Harris, missing from Washington, D.C. since 10/10/10, October the 10th, 2010. And I decided to come and make this video today because in getting some questions from Uniques and my followers and supporters, I realized that there are a lot of people that have either never heard of Unique Story, or never heard of me. They just see me, here, there, sporadically all over the place, especially with running Unique's website, urlhfoundation1.org. A lot of people have heard of it, but I guess they've never seen or heard me speak on what actually got me to start the website. Um, and they don't know the intricacies of Unique's case. So here it goes. I want to make sure that everybody is completely and totally aware of, first of all, the dangers out here that exist. My daughter, Unique Raquel Leona Harris, which is the URLHNR Foundation, urlhfoundation1.org, was abducted from her home while my two young grandchildren, who were 3 and 5 at the time, slept in their bedroom. Apparently, the person that has received a 35-year conviction since then, we got that conviction in June of 2023 after a 10-year search for what happened to my daughter. Of course, I'm sure anyone that will see this video will definitely understand that if we don't fight for justice, that 9 times out of 10 we won't get justice. So I say it all the time, and I mean so vividly and emphatically that, we have to fight every day. And that 10-year long struggle that it took to bring some resolution in Unique's case was well worth it with that 35-year conviction. You can always look up Unique's name on Google. I've done quite a few very public things, from The View to Find Our Mission on TV1, The View with Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and that crew. We've done Maury Povich. We've done Our America with Lisa Lang on the OWN, Oprah Winfrey Network. All these things you can find on my social media pages. I have my page, which is Valencia Harris subscribers page. I have another page that is dedicated to the search for other crimes, such as, unresolved homicides, missing persons, human, and SEX, TRAFF, it king, yeah, that and exploitation. That is one of the reasons why I started Unique's foundation, was because I didn't realize until my daughter was taken how massive and vast these crimes are. And being the type of person that I was raised to be, it was a no-brainer for me to dive right in and make this, my purpose and my mission, to help and assist any and all that I can in any way that I can. And the foundation just seemed to be a little bit more hands-on and easier accessible to people to be able to find and connect with our resources to assist them in these very horrific crimes that, you know, no family should have to endure, no parent should have to endure. As I said on one of my videos before, you know, it was such a struggle for me in the beginning to simply get media attention for Unique. It was like I had people hanging up the phone on me. I can remember vividly a lady named Ricky that worked for Nancy Grace literally hung up the phone on me when I was on the phone crying, pouring my heart out to her, trying to get, you know, Unique a spot on the Nancy Grace crime show, to have Unique's case profiled. I remember that. I remember so many people that hung up on me, or, you know, got frustrated and flustered with me, and, you know, just, you know, to be quite frank, didn't care to help me to find my daughter. So that is definitely the issues that catapulted me into saying, okay, well, I definitely have to find a safe space and create a space and a place where, you know, I can take this pain and turn it into my power, which my power now helps to feed people in shelters. I help to get people connected that aren't sure about how to do certain business, you know, things such as filling out applications and things like that for housing, for jobs. We feed, like I said, the hungry. You know, I try to get people assistance as far as housing. There's so many people out here that are homeless till it just, you know, that just broke my heart and just pivoted me into a totally different direction as far as my mission and my purpose that came out of this whole situation with Unique. As I said, Unique was taken from her home on October the 10th of 2010 by the person that has now received a 35-year conviction in Washington, D.C. courts. And even to this date, he will not tell me where my child's remains are. So that is the next leg of our mission. We did have the GPS. I mean, crazy enough, this idiot did this to my daughter while he was on a GPS ankle monitoring device. Can you believe it? I mean, talk about world's dumbest criminals. The only surprise in it is that it took 8 detectives and I believe like 3 United States attorneys, 2 or 3 United States attorneys to actually get to the point where, you know, it was realized that he was on a GPS ankle monitor in a home monitoring device on his ankle. And by the grace, love, and mercy of God, after 10 years, those records were still available. And that, along with his DNA and his phone records, was what brought us home to that 35-year conviction. And I'd like to, for my own mental stability, say that my daughter, Unique Raquel Leona Harris, in her demise, she has saved so many others, because this deviant was loose on our streets and had so many victims before Unique. We managed to trace his violent sexual predatory tendencies all the way back to the 1990s. As a matter of fact, when he encountered my daughter in October of 2010, he had just gotten out of prison 2 weeks prior. And another caveat to Unique's story is she had just moved in her apartment that she was taken from 5 weeks prior. My child had not even gotten a chance to unpack her boxes from moving into her new home before this demon gained access to her building and her, and took her away from her 2 small children, which my grandsons were 3 and 5 at the time. Of course, 10 years later, they're older now. Beautiful, beautiful, smart, loving young men, just like their mother was. And the beautiful part is, he took Unique, but I just thank God that even though my grandsons were right in the apartment, in the bedroom, sleeping, when that happened, his demented mindset did not shift into them. I just thank God that they weren't his victim too, because it could have been so, it scares me when I think about it. It terrifies me. That's one of the things that had me in such mortal fear. It was like a paralyzing fear when I really, really thought about it. Like, he could have just not just taken Unique and did what he did to her, but he could have taken my grandsons too. That, I think, would have definitely been the straw that broke the camel's back. And I guess that's why they say God never puts more on us than we can bear. And that he doesn't, because I wouldn't have been able to bear losing my daughter and her sons all at once. So God does have mercy and grace for us that, sometimes we can't even understand it, because it was, became so painfully clear to me shortly after, when we were in the whole thrust of searching for Unique, that, oh my God, he could have not just taken Unique, but he could have taken my grandsons as well. I could have had 3 family members that I was searching for. But God, he knew I wouldn't have been able to take that. He knew I wouldn't be able to bear that. He knew it. Unique was barely bearable, even to this day. I can barely talk about my child's story without just wanting to just crawl up in a ball and just not even be able to do anything. But I'm a firm believer in God is not going to bring us to it if he's not going to bring us through it. And here to this day, August the 10th, 2024, going on 14 years later, here I still stand. And I stand on my daughter's legacy. And the legacy that my daughter left was to stop him permanently. Because at 43 years old, with a 35-year prison sentence, I feel confident in the fact that he will not be able to go out here and do this to another person. I mean, in the trial, hearing his prior victims recall the torment that he put them through, that they barely